Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be looking at r/am I overreacting? And I'm going to try and not get distracted because my cat is in the window currently doing that funny little ek thing they do to birds. I keep getting these pair of blue tits. I think they're blue tits that keep landing on the windowsill outside, obviously, and making a hell of a lot of noise. And she is looking incredibly hungry and concerned. But don't worry, she can't get to them. It's fine. But yeah, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening along to with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Okay, so this one's titled, Am I Overreacting? My parents secretly drained my entire savings account and called me ungrateful when I confronted them. I see too many posts about this kind of thing. Like, this seems to be an actual problem. What is it with Gen X and boomer parents that can't get their finances under control? It's crazy. They had the best of the bunch when it comes to financial stability and buying things like cheaply and what have you. Get your own damn savings. So, this morning I got a bank notification that my savings account was basically at zero. I've been putting money into the account since middle school. It should have been anywhere from 10k to 20k now. Goodness me. When I checked the transactions, I saw multiple withdrawals over the past 2 months. 2,500, 1,800, 1,200, and 3,100, all listed as internal transfers. I never made them. Report them to the police. We cannot be messing around with people like this and parents like this anymore. They get away with it because people are like, I don't want to report them. They're my family. Who cares? Report them. They don't respect you enough, so why the hell should you give them leeway and not report them? I texted my parents and found out my parents still had joint access. She admitted they'd been pulling from it to cover bills and some emergencies. She said family money is family money and that I should be thankful because they supported me for years. If you don't want to financially support your children, don't friggin' have them. It's as simple as that. You can't, as a parent, go, I'm going to take your savings now because I supported you and fed you and, housed you. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do as a parent because that's what you sign up for when you decide to reproduce. You cannot then go and say, I want that back off you. When they're adults, if you're housing them for free, then maybe, then you could be like, hey, I would like a little bit of financial help because I am housing you for free and you're an adult. But still, when they're a kid, you can't then decide to take their adult money for stuff you did for them as a kid. No. But some of the charges lined up with DoorDash orders and even a massage. I'm sorry, but how is 1,800 and thousands going on DoorDash? That is insane. Massage, maybe. Even still, no. Thousands. Like, they are spending and living well on your dime, my love. Which doesn't exactly sound like emergencies because it's not. When I called her out, she said I was being dramatic and ungrateful. My dad backed her up, saying she'll pay me back, but I feel like that's a huge violation of trust. I would say then, okay, we'll see what the police think about this and if I'm being dramatic, shall we? Honest to God, I genuinely think anyone whose parents do this should report them to the police. Because you'll, one, get your money back, hopefully, and two, or will they not want to do it again? And three, they deserve it. They fully deserve it. They fully deserve to be charged with theft. Now, the family group chat is blowing up, calling me selfish for even thinking about going to the bank and removing them from the account. That is the first thing I'd do. What are they on about? My parents say I'm overreacting because it's all in the family, but I honestly feel robbed. So, am I overreacting for being furious and treating this like theft instead of helping the family? No, because it is theft. It just plainly is theft. Honestly, I hate when I see stories like this and they're like, and now the rest of my family is telling me that I'm a butthole and I shouldn't do this to family. Funnily enough, family shouldn't rob from other family. They shouldn't steal other people's stuff. They threw the first shit hat in the ring, so It's fair game from here. If you do not want stupid prizes, don't play stupid fucking games. It's so simple. And I would absolutely report them to police, take them off my bank account, and do everything else I could to make sure this didn't happen again. And then, yeah, we can just see there is a screenshot of basically their savings account having absolutely chuff all in it, apart from, what is that, a penny? Oh, this next one should be good in the most infuriating way, I suspect. Am I overreacting with how I broke up with my cheating ex? You know, short of like violence or something, I'm sure you were probably right with whatever you did, but let's read it, shall we? So, long story short, my ex cheated on me. I decided to break up with him. Get down from there. My cat's climbing the curtain now. I have net curtains. I have a neighbour over the road that likes to stare into my house. And considering I sit in the window when I record these, that's real uncomfortable. So yeah, we got the granny nets, haven't we? Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm going to stop getting distracted by my cat. I swear some days my brain is just like someone's had the lid off and shit in it. It's ridiculous, like a fart in a colander. Okay, I decided to break up with him. I'll share screenshots of how I did it. But now I'm wondering if I went too far. The weird part is how I felt. The second I found out, it was like a switch flipped. I just lost all feelings instantly. Do you know that's actually a lot more common than you'd think? I know I've experienced that in a relationship where they've done something and all of a sudden it's just like the lights went out. Like there was no emotion there anymore and I was done. In fact, I'd probably say that's almost the best way for it to happen, because at least then you're not agonizing over it for months and what have you. And I mean, it does come eventually, but in that first few months, you kind of need to be just numb to it so you don't end up going back and letting yourself back into a crappy situation. No crying, no begging, not even real anger, just nothing. Since then, I have only had a couple of random moments where I felt a bit sad, but overall, I feel indifferent, almost dystopian, like my emotions just shut down. This is why I'm questioning myself. Was I ever even in love with him? Or is it normal for betrayal to make you go emotionally numb? So, did I overreact in how I handled it? Or is this a pretty normal reaction? There is no right way to deal with someone betraying you. There is no right or wrong way to emotionally react. We're all very individual and it's very jarring emotionally when that happens. So if you go numb, that's cool. If you're mad about it, that's cool. If you're super sad and depressed about it, that's cool. However you mentally cope with it, physically cope with it, that is just how you deal with things. Obviously, there are unhealthy ways. And, you know, if you recognize that you are dealing with something in an unhealthy way, that doesn't mean you're bad. It just means you need a little help to get through it. But, you know, going emotionally numb doesn't make you a bad person. That's just your body and your mind protecting you. So let's have a look at the screenshot, shall we? That was really hard to say. What? What the F? What the actual F? Bro, what the F? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm breaking up. Because? What did I do? Where is this coming from? I'm so confused. What the actual F? So then the OP goes on to quote a text I'm assuming they found on the piece of turd's phone saying, cool, yay, Mish is coming back. So how about 7 p.m. on Thursday next week at Benares? I dress up, you dress up, I bring flowers, you just bring your pretty smile. Blech. We talk about the political, economic state of the world right now. If you know, you know. Oh, and he thinks he's intellectual too. Oh, bless. And then we go for dessert with the most amazing view under the not as pretty as you stars. This guy is making me retch violently. Finally, we will go to fair game where, to round the perfect date off, I'll let you win, winky face. And then the OP just puts a crying smiley face. And Turd replies, what is this? And then OP replies, aw, sweetie, your Hinge message, darling. What a piece of poo. And then Turd replies, can we talk about it? OP says, why, honey? What's there to talk about? Okay, go on, print. In brackets, talk. Oh, go on, let's see how he tries to get out of this one then. There's no excuse. I'm telling you what happened, and it's the same thing as last time. Last time? It felt like you had given up. You kept responding like that, and I don't know what was going on. And I kept asking you, and to just talk to someone, I went on it. You could talk to literally anyone. If you were that desperate and had no one to talk to, there are literally text hotlines that will allow you just to text them and ramble. I don't even have any intention of going, sure. I was actually going to respond to you again on our anniversary dinner because I wanted things to start to get better between us, because this is what it felt like. I felt like I was losing you. If you're in a relationship and the person doesn't feel like they're in it, you can just finish with them. Crazy concept, I know. And then OP replies, "Aw, sweet. Are we clear now? No emails, no messages. We are done." And then the turd replies, "But I love you. I was feeling neglected. Aw, someone go get the tiny violins. We will start an orchestra. Tiny trumpets too. Why not? Tiny cello. Just tiny instruments. Like that tiny kitchen. Has anyone ever seen those tiny kitchen videos? I find them weirdly relaxing. Anyway. And to get some validation, that's why I did it. Oh, you poor pathetic little bean." OP replies, "Oh my god. Aw, how sweet. You love me so much. I think I don't deserve this much love. You deserve someone better." Loving the sarcasm. And then Turd replies, "OP, please, for real. I can't live without you. Please. I've been trying to fix things with us." Yeah, that's why you ended up on Hinge, isn't it? "You suddenly switched up ever since I went to Portugal. Things were going well between us. Please." OP replies, "Aw, I didn't know every time we had a flight, you'd go out and cheat and fail that as well." Bro tried to cheat and failed. "No, for real. What did I do that made you upset? Mate, you were on Hinge. What do you mean, what did you do?" Because this happened after all that. Aw, classic manipulation technique where you try to blame the other person. Bro, I read, right? And then I don't know what there was redacted. I can only guess. Oh, maybe he's trying to show her up by saying something about her. I don't know. "Sweetheart, you were trying to make a fool out of the wrong girl." Turd says, "You switched up on day one. Please, can you tell me what happened?" You cheated. Whether it be emotionally or physically, although I bet you've done this before, because by the sounds of it, you have. "What do you mean what happened?" OP, "Okay, are we clear? For real? No more messages, emails, and shy. I would change my email, but I can't." Turd says, "I won't contact you again, but I'm not blocking you. I love you." And then requotes himself where he said, "You switched up on day one. Please tell me what happened." And says, "Can you tell me?" Turd asks again, "Can you tell me?" And then just a picture of someone kicking someone else from the OP. Turd says, "Bro, for real, please." And then I'm assuming maybe that's like a dancing gif or something, or a bye or something. I don't know. And then Turd says, "Is there anything I can do to explain things to you? I mean, it's quite cut and dry, my love. You were on Hinge, you moron." Turd then says, "I'm begging you." OP, "Oh, put your loving hand out, baby. I'm begging." And then a screenshot of a victim card. Oh, that's great. Turd then says, "I hope you find someone to make you truly happy, because you deserve that. I'm sorry it wasn't me. We could have been happy together. I really wish you the best. I still only care about your happiness and your happiness alone. I'm sorry for all the things I have done and said to you. You are the best thing that ever happened to me. I wish you all the best. I love you and will forever. Take care. I'm not giving up hope still. There is a decision tree out there where we end up together. I know. Best of luck. Let's hope not, shall we?" Somebody call the lumberjack. We need to knock down that decision tree, don't we? And then OP just replies, "Ew, ew. We could have been happy together. Ew, never. Ew, ew, ew." I don't have a reaction image to fully summarize my disgust, but astagfirullah. What? Dude, I don't know what that says. I'm so confused. Oh, my poor little pea brain. Okay, bye! I'm not blocking you, so if you ever need anything, let me know. What, like the clap? Because I feel like that's the only thing that Turd can give to the OP, to be honest. Let's have a look at the comments, shall we? Spoink2000 says, there are thousands of internet strangers proud of you because you stayed strong. The moment you give someone like this a crumb and hear them out, you reopen the door to let manipulation start happening all over again. Yeah, exactly. You feel relief because I'm sure deep down things don't feel right, but you may have needed a push to confirm it. Be free, don't look back, and take comfort in knowing you saved your future self a lot of hurt down the line. Precisely. And that's exactly what I was saying. Like, it's so good in a way that she just had the emotional shutdown as far as this person's concerned. Like, don't get me wrong, I fully believe it's probably going to come back and bite her later, but at least at that point she will be far enough away from him to not be at risk of falling back into negative patterns with negative people, and then she can work through it, feel it out, and, move on completely then. But until then, I'm kind of glad that she's had this emotional shutdown. It really does stop her from being vulnerable to this bag's antics. And then Low Veterinarian 2131 says, this exact thing happened to me. I was breaking up with my ex and at the same time trying to salvage a bit of good between us. It doesn't work like that. He was extremely manipulative, and when he admitted to doing things that led to me leaving at first, every time we talked and I heard him out, he would slightly change the story to make me look like the bad guy. Ah, yes. Throw in a little manipulation and gaslighting. This is what they do. This is why you can't hear them out. You just have to say, see you later, cut you off. That is it. Done. Then to him eventually telling me my own life story and how I made everything he did up. I had to write everything down and reread it before and after we talked just to keep me from gaslighting myself. I eventually just had to get mean and tell him that I had no feelings for him and those had been lost a long time before. Whether or not that was true was none of his business, and I just needed to get him to stop. What OP did was perfect. Not taking any of their BS and not backing down. Saved a lot of drama and manipulation because this person definitely screams victim and manipulator. Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. Like, in the short term, he's a crappy person and he's a cheater. In the long term, people like that, if they're allowed to get away with that behavior, it becomes something more insidious. And it happens every flipping time. It's either going to end up with the OP ending up with some sort of horrible venereal disease, or ending up with, or just being completely disrespected left, right, and centre, or even worse, it can, when someone learns that they can get away with just about anything with you, they start to take it further and push the boundaries more and more and see how much more they can get away with. And it's always going to end up in tears or worse, So yeah, I'm very, very, very glad that the OP just told him where to go swing. I love that for her. Okay, so I think that's all we've got time for today. I can't believe we've only done 2 stories. That is crazy. And do you know what? I took a hell of a break in between. In fact, in the middle of reading the second story and reading the screenshots, I could smell my little pizzas were ready. I mean, I was eating little pizzas at 11 a.m. That's really not good. It's been one of them days though, and I need some comfort of some late morning miniature pizzas. Okay. And then, yeah, I kind of got distracted and did multiple other things before realising I was in the middle of recording and had to come back. If you made it to the end with me today, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give it a like, subscribe, notifications on, maybe even share the video, maybe. That is your initiation into the Cult of Void. Welcome. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.